Leaving Las Vegas, that is apparently what's happening to tourists in Sin City.
Las Vegas seeing a drop right now in tourists, but there might be some potential deals for those looking to go.
When I was in my early 20s, Las Vegas was the place to be. It had this magic and this vibe that no other place compared to. You know, it had the pool parties, it had the DJs, it had the energy, and it felt like stepping into pure magic.
We're so excited to be in Vegas. We've always wanted to be here.
Service is very good. So the whole experience is quite nice, to be honest.
It was vibes that you really couldn't replicate anywhere else. But now, I honestly can't even remember the last time I considered going to the Sin City. And apparently, I'm not alone.
I've been to Vegas like probably 20 times, and I definitely think this is the slowest I've seen.
We were here last year, almost exactly the same time, and it was probably 20% more.
For decades, Las Vegas was America's playground, but you've probably seen the post circulating on Twitter that travel to Vegas is down 11.3% year over year, according to a recent press release. Now, this is the debate that's blowing up on X. And after taking a deeper dive, I realized that what's killing Vegas isn't just the economy, which is what some people think. It's a fundamental change in human desire. For boomers, Vegas was sort of a forbidden glamour, a place to dress up, sip martinis, and see world-class acts. Frank Sinatra, Elvis, Siegfried and Roy. And if you were lucky, you would leave with more money than what you came with. It wasn't just a vacation, it was a unique experience. Up until the 70s, Las Vegas was the only state with legal casinos. New Jersey joined in 1976, but the next legal state didn't come until decades later. So nearly all Americans had to travel in order to gamble. And even Atlantic City, it really couldn't compete. It didn't have that mystique. It didn't have that Rat Pack swagger, as they called it, or the 24/7 party. Right? Vegas was novelty, exclusivity, and spectacle. Right? And psychology tells us scarcity increases perceived value. Right? If something's rare, we want it more. Right? This era of Vegas, some people would argue, was peak Vegas. The tuxedos in the casinos, the cocktail waitresses in all sorts of outfits, and a feeling that you were in a club that the rest of the country really couldn't touch that easily. Now, by the time millennials like me started going, gambling really wasn't the main draw. It was the DJs, it was the nightlife, and the new hotels that felt like entire fantasy worlds. Because back in the 2010s, late 2000s, there was new casinos popping up like nearly every year, right? Casinos like the Cosmopolitan, the Aria, the Encore. It redesigned a luxury on the Strip. Because when you were walking down Las Vegas Boulevard at night, it felt like you were walking into this movie set. It felt like a dream, right? Now, before 2010, EDM was still very niche in the US. People forget about this. Now, seeing DJs like Tiesto, Calvin Harris, Deadmau5, Swedish House Mafia, it felt very exclusive in that moment in time. And now that exclusivity has faded, right? EDM is everywhere, right? These DJs are touring globally. There are major music festivals pretty much in every city. So what felt like a once-in-a-lifetime show really became just another night out. Not even just the top-tier DJs have some sort of Vegas residency because it's still a money driver, but it's not really appealing to the mass society. Now, the business lesson here is that overexposure kills novelty. Right? If you turn your most exciting product into something that's available everywhere, you dilute your brand, right? Vegas really leaned hard into the bottle service club culture, and which still pulls in high spenders. But the casual sort of come for the magic crowd, those people are disappearing, right? On top of that, the street experience has changed. There's a lack of new jaw-dropping hotel openings like there was in the past. The Strip has gotten a lot sketchier, right? More aggressive street hustlers, bad smells, a vibe that really doesn't feel glamorous anymore. It just feels exhausting. So what used to be a fun stroll, it now feels like a chore. Now, here's where it gets cultural. In 1990, only about 5% of Americans had passports. Today, nearly half of Americans do, which is about 161 million valid passports in circulation. So this is up 37% from 2013. As international travel, it isn't a dream like it once was, it's now the norm. And social media algorithms, they feed into this as well, right? They give us endless clips of beaches in Greece, sunsets in Bali, tapas in Barcelona, So when you're in your late 20s and you've already done Vegas when you were like 21, 22, the question becomes, why go back when instead you can watch a sunset over the Amalfi Coast? Now, beyond just the shifting tastes, economics are of course making things worse. Right? Visitors are complaining about the essentially what feel like gotcha fees, $32 cocktails, $50 resort charges, resort fees, paid parking when it used to be free.
Judging from all the videos and movies,
Now this is Vegas.
Vegas is just crazy and there's party everywhere, and then we arrived here and it was like a bad city.
It looks pretty, but this costs $28. This should literally be illegal.
That's not a lot of potato chips. Those boxes are $12 a piece.
We just paid $50 for a salad.
We paid $20 for a Coke.
These resort fees are disgusting.
Meanwhile, these global destinations, especially if you're selective and you do your research, it can offer much better value and ultimately even like better photos, better content for the gram, which whether we want to admit it or not, people still care about. Vegas hasn't really found that meaningful pivot yet. So the same formula that made it this rich, over-the-top indulgence, it may now be the same thing that's actually holding it back. At the end of the day, Vegas probably isn't dying. It might just be losing its magic. New venues like the Sphere are drawing huge crowds, pro sports teams are moving in, and there's always gonna be a place for high rollers. But the vintage Sin City magic that once existed, the one that was built on scarcity, glamour, a bit of mystery, that might be gone for good.